as people are joining, we're really excited to start this month's webinar. And we're really excited about the fact that we're using a brand new system. So those of you that have done our webinars in the past, and we've used the Microsoft Teams option, we have switched over to Zoom, which we're finding has a lot more function and opportunities for us to bring in different guests. But it's a whole new session for us. So it's really kind of nerve-wracking for me that likes to know everything and I don't feel like I know, but we're really excited to have you guys here. And just a reminder, this is a one-way presentation. So you can see us, but we can't see you. But we do want you to participate in today's webinar through questions, through the chat section. So there is a Q&A box where you can ask questions. You can use the chat section so that we can hear from who you are, where you're from, and all of those things. We're really excited to continue these webinars that we've been doing. We've been doing it almost now for a year and a half or so, and we're coming to the end of 2021 and having just kind of a full opportunity to provide information and resources that you can use in your ministry. We created these webinars partnering with Orange to encourage officers and leaders in the Salvation Army to think orange. And now we're extending even further to try to encourage resources and tools that might help you in your ministry. It's not just about how to use a curriculum or a tool, but we want to know the unique ways that you can engage in the ministry in your home core and in your community. So we also want to give you a chance to remember that this is an opportunity to build community with one another, getting to know each other, chatting, connecting beyond the webinars to support one another. You guys have ideas that we might not have, so we want you to encourage you to connect together in that community. As I said, we do have the question and answer box or the chat section. We will have a moderator in there to make sure that we don't miss your questions. At the end of today's webinar, after our presentations, we'll have an opportunity to answer those questions live. And we realize that it is the middle of Christmas season and that things are really busy and things can be really crazy. And so we do record this, and this will then be available to those that couldn't maybe attend live or miss sections or want to go back and hear something again. So be assured that if you are registered for this webinar, we'll be sending you the link to the video. And then, if you were not able to attend or if you wanted to go back and check. So again, all those logistics out of the way, we want to welcome you. Thank you so much for taking time out of today to attend our webinar. We're really excited. I mean, when I say I'm really excited about today, I think I say that about everything. I am really excited about today because today we're going to explore a tool that I don't think a lot of people understand how it can be used or how it can help you, but we're always wanting to provide ways and tools and resources that can help you be more effective in your ministry, be more creative in your ministry, and make things maybe a little bit easier for you and the leaders that you work with in your own home court. So today we have a guest, Chris Helen, who is with Playlister, and he's going to go a little bit over that. So Chris is joining us now. Thank you so much Chris for joining us. And a lot of our cores have this option because we're an Orange partner to use Playlister, but not many know what it is or it's being used at a very basic level. So we're going to turn this over to you. You can kind of walk us through what it is. And then for our participants and attendees, if you've got questions, we will be keeping an eye on that and we'll try to save that for the end for our question and answer. Thanks, Chris.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for the intro there, Peggy. Excited to be here. So I'm Chris. I'm one of the founders of Playlister, and today I'll give you a look at what Playlister is and how you can use it both in church and at home at your course. So let me share my screen real quick. All right, so what is Playlister? Playlister is the easiest way for you to prep and teach kids ministry curriculum. It is the final mile of the Orange strategy. So obviously what a kid learns in church, they should remember forever. You are dedicating your time to ministry, and unfortunately when we do ministry, a lot of time is spent in prep work and tasks, downloading things, running USBs everywhere, messing with technology that is time consuming, stressful, and not fun. So we actually built Playlister at our church to streamline the entire process so that you can take your Orange curriculum, set it up for the week, and get it on the TV in minutes. How it works is you come to Playlister where you can create your free account. It's just playlister.app. And then once you have logged into Playlister, the first thing you'll do is link your Orange account. So you'll go to your settings, and right here, there is an orange logo. You'll click this button that says link account and just put in the credentials you used to log into the Orange store. Once you have linked your Orange account, all your Orange curriculum will appear right over here in the linked libraries section automatically. You do not have to download a single file again. It's all going to automatically import. So once it's there, you can then make a lesson with it. So I'll create a playlist called demo, and then let's open up our 252 video package. And then, yeah, you'll find the videos you want, and you'll just drag and drop them into your playlist. You can then go to the slides that would correspond with those videos and drag and drop those in as well. So it's kind of like the old school iTunes playlist video where you just click something, drop it on in. But once you've made your lesson, you can then specify how it's going to work in the classroom. So for a video, let's put it on auto advance. So it'll just go to the next thing as soon as it's done playing. For slides, maybe we'll keep it on pause so that you can talk to the kids about a bottom line or a key question. You can also set those on timers so they move automatically as well. And you can add all your worship songs in here and put slides on them too. So once you've built your lesson and it looks good to go, you can use it in two ways. So the first way is using it in a classroom space. So as an Orange partner, you get free licenses to use this in 2 of your classrooms at your core. And what that enables you to do is you get an Apple TV box, which is a little thing this big, and you plug it into any TV or projector in your building, and then that will sync your lessons to it. Now, why we specifically made it for the Apple TV box is because the Apple TV box works even if there's no internet, and it costs way less than a computer. A MacBook's like, oh man, $1,500 or something, whereas an Apple TV box is $150. So they're great. They can replace computers in your classroom, saving you tons of money, and it works without internet. It's a win-win-win there. So that's how you'd use it in the classroom space. You just schedule when you want it to appear. So if we wanted this lesson to be in our classrooms this weekend, we'll say, hey, let's send it to the Apple TV on Friday and have it disappear on Monday. What this means is you can come in here and schedule all your lessons out in advance, and they will just autopilot show up in your rooms when you've told them to. Aside from teaching in the classroom, you can also send out a playlist to folks at home. So whether you want to send a copy of the classroom lesson to volunteers to have them prepare for what they're teaching in person, you can also send videos and all your Orange curriculum and parent guides to parents at home. So you build the playlist in the same way we built it for our classroom, but you'll hit the share with families at home button, and you can add a cover image. So maybe you want to add your core's logo so it's not this lady like messing with the bicycle. It looks like she's having a very fun time with that. So you can put a cover image there. You just upload it. You can add a short description, so like a welcome message, some other info about the lesson, and you can put a resource URL. So if you want to put a link to your website, to a Facebook page or group, you can put that there, and then attach PDFs like parent guides and other things to assist the parent with the lesson. So once you have set all that up, you'll then copy this link here, and you will then just send that to parents. You can put it on Facebook, put it on your website, send it out via email or text message, they can click this link on any device on the internet. They don't have to like make an account or anything, and they'll be able to watch now. So that is how you can use Playlister at home as well. And everything we discussed today is free. So Playlister at home is completely 100% free forever. And then Playlister in the classroom, you get 2 free licenses to use that on 2 of your Apple TVs at your church. And so that is a overall, high level, really quick run through of Playlister. What questions do y'all have?
All right, I'm going to jump on here, and I have a few questions, Chris. And then there might be some more question and answers from, or questions from our attendees. So I'm kind of looking at, just to clarify, so when you're talking about the Apple TV, if we have cores that don't have an Apple TV option right away, can they do this streamed from the internet? Or do they have to download it to an Apple TV box?
Yeah, great question. So I'll show you kind of the difference between those and what an Apple TV is, because definitely want to go into that. So using it, hey, what if you used a laptop and the internet with one of the links? That would work. You're gonna be dependent on the internet though, so it could potentially buffer depending on your streaming setup. So if you've got like a bunch of cables, you'll probably just want to do a test run to make sure everything flows smoothly, since it's not stored offline like the Apple TV. It's also gonna be a slightly different setup. So on the Apple TV, here's what it looks like to your classroom teacher. So the lesson you made is right here on the TV, and they just take the Apple TV remote and point and click at it. If you're using the at-home link in the classroom on the computer, you are going to have someone clicking at the computer if that's the case. So really whatever would work best for your environment. So if you have the computers already set up and just using the at-home link would work well, and you have strong internet there, I'd say go for it. If not, or if you're looking to potentially replace computers, the Apple TV is probably going to be your best bet. And the Apple TV, just to clarify, it's not a whole flat screen TV. It is this little box right here. It's like this big, and you can get that on Amazon, from Best Buy, bring one from home. So yeah, what other questions do you all have?
Great. Now with the Apple TV, that doesn't have to be purchased through Playlister, correct? That can be an Apple TV that is purchased like at Best Buy?
Absolutely. So Playlister, in the Orange, or the license you get with Orange is to use on one of your own Apple TVs. But let's say, hey, you want to try it without investing in an Apple TV. We have a promo code where we will send you an Apple TV for free for a month, just to kick the tires. So yep, you can go and get your own, and we'd highly encourage that. But we're also here if you kind of want to like rent one out from us just to try it out.
That's awesome. I saw a question in our chat here. Now, can this only be used with Orange videos, or could we use our own church-specific videos?
Spectacular question. So you can use any type of pictures or videos or music you'd like in Playlister. So for anything that's not imported from Orange, let's look at how we'll add that to our lesson. So in your Playlister account, you'll just go to this media section right here, and you can create different libraries, which are the folders stuff will be stored in. So you might have, a folder for elementary music, and then you might have a folder for like preschool slides. You get the picture. Once you've made the folder, you'll just hit this upload media button, and it's gonna open your computer's files. So you can grab as many pictures, videos, music files as you want and upload those into your account. And you can store as much stuff in here as you'd like. Once you've added those external files, they will appear up to the upper right-hand side in your libraries section. So I'll just open up one of those folders and show you. You can drag and drop it in there just like the Orange files in the linked libraries. Any other questions in the chat?
Yeah, there's a couple more.
Awesome.
So just a quick question. So our Salvation Army, this might be a higher level question you might not have the answer for, but in the Salvation Army, we are in the Central Territory. So it's the Central 11 states. And then within that, we have several divisions that then kind of disseminate information out. So there's youth departments that support the cores of their divisions. Is this only done within a core, or could a division set up playlists for cores that could be sent out? So can you share playlists between units? I guess is my question.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really whatever would work best for you. And so we actually, I remember when, the COVID lockdowns began and we launched Playlister at Home, I think a Salvation Army division, I'm not sure which one, but they were making playlists for all their cores to access. And they had these playlist links here on like a web page where they could access them. So absolutely, if that would work best for your division, go for it. If not, this works fine on a per core level as well. So really entirely up to you. You can do both if you'd want. Some cores are like, hey, we want to, change how our programming works, be a bit different than what they're doing at the divisional level. You can do whatever you want.
Fabulous. So Chris, we're gonna pop over and have Jackie come on, because our webinars wouldn't be complete without Jackie. And then if you can just stay on, because we might have some other questions at the end. So if you don't mind staying on, we're gonna let Jackie talk a little bit about some of the orange options. But thank you so much. I feel like I knew Playlister better than I did, but I didn't understand the Apple TV part, and that is a game changer for me. So I feel like that will be really helpful even within my own core ministry. So we'll keep our eye on the questions that come through, Chris, and I'll bring you back on at the end. But we want to welcome Jackie. We thank you so much, Jackie, for coming again. So for buying into these webinars. So we just want to talk a little bit, that whole home experience and how we want to connect again with parents. Playlister gives that options. And then, what does Orange have in store for us? Thanks.
Absolutely. So I love that Chris came on to explain, because I tell people all about Playlister all the time, and I never really knew the specifics. Like, I knew it was really good and really helpful. Didn't really understand why, but I knew it was great. So I'm glad that I got to join on, because I'm learning things just along with you guys. But one thing that I know that is really helpful is those pre-created online experiences. We at Orange, as soon as the lockdown happened, we realized cores, church partners were just needing something that felt like Sunday school, felt like church at home. So in our media package, separate from Playlister, it's found in the media package. But if you do have Playlister and you've linked your Orange media, you can find those pre-created online experiences already. And what it does is it has the 30-second countdown, it has the Song of the Month music video, and then it either has, for elementary, it has 252 story. And if you choose the preteen online experience, it has 252 movie, which is the so-and-so show. So that is already created for you. If the idea of linking multiple videos just kind of blows your head a little bit and is a little too much for you to do, you just need to click on that pre-created online experience that's already in your linked library and Playlister, and that has all three of those videos already together, and you could be good to go. Just to make it a little bit easier, we've done that for you, but also Playlister gives you the option to pick and choose whatever Orange media you think is going to work best. If you ever look in that media package and you notice we have 14 things included in your media package, any of those can be linked and created into a playlist to be sent out to parents on Playlister. So think of Playlister almost as a choose your own adventure. You get to decide what's included, you get to decide what's being sent to your kids, and you get to upload videos. So it's not just us saying hi to your kids every Sunday. As great as we are and as much as we love your kids, you know them best and they know you. We want them to see your face. So you can upload a short 30-second video from your phone, just welcoming your kids to that Sunday, saying that you miss them. upload it to Playlister and include it in your playlist. And that way, as soon as kids and families click on that link, they see your face. They don't just see John and Brandon from the So-and-So show. They don't just see Kellen with his amazing hair. They actually get to see your face. So that is a huge benefit of Playlister. I'm actually going to switch gears just a tiny bit to talk about some things that are found in the home section, the home folder on your Orange curriculum. There is a home folder in each and every curriculum, in First Look, in 252, in XP3 Middle School, and XP3 High School. And that is because, just like we talk about with our Orange strategy all the time, we think it's so important to partner with parents and to engage them in what we're learning about with their kids on a Sunday. And that home folder really includes just small things to make sure that the parents are involved at home as much as possible, and to the extent that they can be. Parents are busy. The world is a little crazy still. There's so many things going on. We don't want to add just one more thing for parents to do. Instead, we want to partner with parents and say, we know you're busy. We know, your child's faith is important to you. We want to help you be included as much as you can and as much as you want. And we do that with those things in the home folder. We have the home folder in 2 sections on the website, not to confuse you. But for First Look in 252, we have the home folder in as soon as you click on that month, and that gives age-specific options. Or you click on that starter folder where I tell a lot of you to stick around for a while, and you'll see the home folder there, and that kind of gives the kindergarten through 5th grade version. So again, it's almost choose your own adventure. If you have a specific age group you want to really target, you can go to that main home folder. Or if you keep all your kids together and want everything to be a little more simplified, you can go to the starter folder and click that home section, and you'll find a couple of options. There are devotionals, parent cues, and a social media guide. Now I'll go over each one of them and kind of what they look like. So I am going to share my screen just so that you can see what these look like. So I am going to share and show what the parent cue looks like. Now, parent cues is exactly what it sounds like. How do we cue our parents to what is happening with our kids on a Sunday? And so this is a week-specific parent cue. So this is for December week 2, and this is the elementary version. There's also a preteen version you can click on. And it's pretty simple. We're just telling parents, what Bible story did we go over for the week? What is the memory verse? And this is meant to be 2-sided. So this is a front side, and then you flip it to the back. And these are the cues that we want to give parents throughout the week so that they can make sure that the lesson doesn't just stay on a Sunday, but it extends throughout the week. So we give prompts for parents to talk about things and do activities at morning time, at mealtime, at bedtime, and when you're driving around in your car. Not huge, giant activities, not things that take hours of prep for families, because we all know no one has that. But what are some small ways we can cue parents in on what we're teaching their kids on a Sunday? I love this one for drive time. While you're on the go, ask your child, what is your favorite Christmas memory? What a great way to spark conversation with your elementary kids. You're going to find out what little thing did you do in the past that had a big impact on them. Lets them know what they're thinking about Christmas this year, even talking about how Christmas has looked a little bit different the last couple of years. They're just little prompts to really carry on the conversation at home. And this is a week version, so this is week 2. In that main home folder I told you about, there's actually a monthly version. So if you only wanted to print it off once a month, absolutely you can do that. You can print it off once a month and hand it to parents as soon as they pick up their child. That is a great way to get to some FaceTime with parents, so you get to know them as they pick up their child from Sunday school or wherever you use Orange. Or of course, you can have them download the app. The Parent Cue app allows you to input your child's information, just first and last name and birth date. If you feel a little bit weird about birth date, just make sure the year is correct. And it's going to pop up on your app with all of that information that is in the written out parent cue. That just pops up on your phone. So it gives those same prompts, but in a virtual form. So it's a little bit easier for parents on the go. And it also will show that video that the child saw on that Sunday. So if you set it to be a little bit younger elementary, the video that'll pop up is 252 story. And if you set it for preteens, it's going to pop up with 252 movie, the so-and-so show. So as you as a parent can watch that video. I know with my own niece and nephew, sometimes they need a refresher throughout the week, especially with lessons on patience. They need to watch that video one more time. So we sit down together with the phone and we go over that video one more time and use the prompts to talk about the lesson that they learned and how it applies to their life throughout the week. Another thing that's really great that's found in that home folder, which I will once again share my screen to show you, are devotionals. We know spending time with God is so important to solidify our faith. We need to have a relationship with Christ, and the way that we do that is spending time with him. And that's something that we try to instill in kids at a young age, especially diving into the word. That's how we build our relationship. So we have a devotional, which we used to call our God time cards, switch the name a little bit to what they actually are, devotionals. And this one is for 4 days. Having your kids read the Bible every day of the week, that's such a great goal, but in really wanting to set them up for success, we might have to start it in smaller chunks to get to that big goal. So this is just 4 days, but it tells you exactly what prompt to read, what part of the Bible to read, gives a little bit of overview of that. And then there's an activity that goes along with that lesson of the day. Again, not huge activities. This is making an ornament, making a prophet puppet, which sounds pretty cool. Reading Matthew 1:20 through 23, not anything huge and overwhelming for our young kids, but just enough meat to really dive into what that scripture is about, and having a reinforcing activity, just like what we do in our main activities on Sunday when we have a large group lesson and then small group is that application point. Here, they're reading a Bible story, reading a section of scripture, just like a lesson, and then they have an activity that's really reinforcing what that lesson is about and how it applies to their life. So these devotionals are just a great way to get kids, once again, diving into the word, diving into building their own faith, having their own responsibilities for it. And these are also two really great things for cores to have on hand who don't normally have kids on a Sunday. You can print out a month worth of devotionals and maybe that monthly parent cue, put it in a Ziploc bag. And anytime you have 1 or 2 kids that come and you don't necessarily have a lesson prepared, you can pull out these devotionals and that parent cue. And that's almost a lesson in a bag, something that you can even send home with kids that come on a Sunday that you weren't quite prepared for. It's just an easy way. If it's not always easy to have a lesson prepared if you don't know who's coming, but this is just a good takeaway to give to parents and to give to kids who come to our course. So devotionals and parent cues. And we also have a social media plan. These are things that you can use on Instagram, things that you can use on Facebook. Remember, parents are on Facebook, kids aren't on Facebook, teens are not on Facebook. It's just the parents. But that social media plan is actually pretty simple. It's just basic things that you can upload to share with your parents. This is what it looks like. It's not too overwhelming. We give you prompts of what you can post on Sunday through Saturday. We even include links to some of our parent cue. ParentCue.org has great resources for families. We include links to that. We have a couple of links to our Spotify music and even have YouTube music video on there for parents to click on to show their kids throughout the week. This one on Tuesday of Love, God didn't give us Christmas to make us crazy, even though we know Christmas can be a little crazy. This is from John Acuff, a great Christian speaker. So this includes a link to a video of that. So these are just really easy things you can post on social media to share with your families. And I'm actually going to read really quickly in the chat. If you want your core members to be able to download their own material, there is the Lead Small app, which doesn't download the material. It's just an app on your phone, but it gives you the ability to look at what the small group activities are for the upcoming week. You can set to whichever curriculum you are using. Or if you really want your core members to have an orange login, please reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to help you set those up for you. But yeah, the home folder is underutilized, underused, and it has great things to make sure that our parents are involved in our lessons. Does anyone have any questions on what is included in that home folder about Parent Cue or about the devotionals? Any questions at all?
Well, I'm going to jump right in. I have a couple questions. And then we'll give some time for people that, as you're kind of processing through. First question, and you might not be able to even share this information, but you made reference to it first. So is Helen's hair real?
Yes, I have seen it in person, and he is that tall. He is
Wow,
that tall.
that's
He
impressive.
towers, and then add the hair, and I don't know how he goes through doorways, but he really is that tall, and the hair is that, for lack of a better word, majestic.
It is. I was noticing it just last week watching the So-and-so show. I appreciated it. So I love that you referenced it. Jackie, I love that you highlighted this home folder because, again, I think it's underutilized. I know within my own ministry, it's underutilized. I love that social media plan. I'm always stuck on what to post. And yet, how do we just kind of continue to stay in people's feeds as they're scrolling through social media? How do we stay into that feed? So that is such a great tool for us. Go ahead. Were you gonna say something?
I want to say, like, there's a big misconception on ministry wins. I think people see the win is our people clicking on our links. And I think we really have to reframe that, because we're not in control of that. You can't force a parent to click on a link. You can't force a child to watch a video, but what you can do is offer. So the win is not in the clicking of the link, the win is in the offering of it. You've given even the opportunity for parents to be involved. The same as the parent queue and the devotionals. The win isn't a parent taking it, because you can't control that. You can't control if they're using it at home, but the win is providing it for the parent. Because in 6 months, in a year, they might go back to those parent queues and wonder, what have you been handing them every month? Or they might be having such a tough day and they're like, you know what, I'm finally just going to look at that lesson. That's the win, is providing that opportunity. We can't put it on ourselves to make sure, oh, our parents have to be doing this, this, and this. We're putting our wins on something we can't control. And parents are already doing enough. Like, they're doing enough. They're having enough going on. The win isn't them showing up to every program that we do or doing every activity that we send out. The win is we're still continuing to provide opportunities for families to do things together and to have conversation with one another.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail right on the head. And what a great way to reframe how we're doing things. Consistency is key, right? So if we can change or flip the scorecard on what we see as a win, we might be able to continue that consistency rather than feeling defeated. We're going to have Chris kind of pop back on because we've got some questions. And Jackie, you can stay on too if you don't mind. But I did want to ask you, Jackie, you were talking about the devotionals. And I know that you showed the 252 curriculum, but do devotionals happen in all the curriculums?
Not so much for preschool. They can't read. So as great as that is, they can't read. So they start in 252. And then in XP3 middle and high school, the best thing is you don't have to depend on printing them out. The YouVersion Bible app has all of our devotions on there. The best thing is you can do it as a group together and leave comments together. It's great as a leader for you almost to track who is doing the devotions, because you can say, hey, comment if you read this. It's a good little indicator, but it's also great because we're not killing so many trees, because it's a lot of paper to print those devotions. Also, most teens have phones. If we know the teens have them, let's not fight against them. Let's figure out a way to utilize them and make sure we're doing things where they're at. You can post, especially for XP3, we have little Instagram posts that you can put up there. So you can even put in the caption a link to YouVersion and say, hey, this is what we're talking about this week. Make sure to do the devotions along with the series. Could even send it out to teens who aren't going to your ministry, but say, hey, we're doing this together. I'd love for you to follow along. So there's great things you can do with those devotionals that aren't just necessarily just in the church. That's a great way to kind of expand your reach a little bit more.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So Chris, we have a question here in our Q&A specifically about like the users. So if we have a core that has multiple users or additional users, are they all linked together to the core's account? Is it separate? Can you kind of walk us through a little bit of multiple accounts for the same ministry at the core?
Yeah, absolutely. Spectacular question. So Let's go into the users section of the Playlister account. So back in your settings where you link the orange account, you can go to the users section right here. And this is where all the folks at your core will live when you add them to your account. So you just hit this new user button and you put in their info, and this sends them an email with a link to log in and create a password and everything. So everyone will have their own unique password, and whoever created the account is the owner. So if you want someone to like someone else to be the owner, that you can either like make them the owner, or if like the owner left and you need to just be the owner of the account, you can reach out to Playlister support and we will make the new person the owner of account. But yeah, everyone has their own login and you manage that all here.
That's awesome.
Actually, can I jump in with a question for Chris? And this is more of a personal help for me. In the Salvation Army, we move around a lot. We move from one corps to the other. Is it best if we're moving from one corps and we know we were the owner and we're moving to somewhere else? Should we reach out to you to help with that kind of transfer?
Great question. So for those things, if you know you're the account owner and you're leaving, it's probably best to proactively mark someone else in your account as the owner. So that's not like, oh, wait a minute, Jackie doesn't work at this core anymore, and we need to update something on the Playlister account, and we can't do that. But we are always here, and we have like a history of all the users in the account, so we can retroactively refer to that if something does come up.
Perfect. I knew that question would come up from someone, and it might be me in a few months when we do more moves.
So that's great. I know both of you have referenced reaching out for additional help or support. Chris, can you tell us who do we email? How do we reach out? And then after Chris, Jackie, can you tell us on your end?
Absolutely. So if we go back to the main Playlister site, our number and stuff is at the footer of the site. There's a little chat bubble that's probably going to pop up. Yeah, you can click this and chat with us, live. And as well, you can go to the support portal on our site, and there is a number to call, the support email, and all the help articles. So if you'd rather like find the answer yourself, you can search for anything or look through the articles.
That's perfect. Awesome. And that is, it's not playlister.com, correct? It's playlister.app. Is that correct?
Correct. Playlister.com is like some music thing. No way affiliated to Playlister.app. We are the top results. So if you Google Playlister, we're the one at the top. It says the best, easiest way to teach kids min curriculum. So yeah,
Super.
Hopefully not too much confusion there.
Thank you. And Jackie, how do we reach out if we need some help on your end for Orange support?
Absolutely. You can reach out at jackie@thinkorange.com. You can call my office number, 678-600-8141. We have the Thinking Orange and the Salvation Army Facebook group that I'm the orange specialist that replies to you. So if you need a really fast answer, tag the orange specialist, because for some reason Facebook does not let me know when you guys post. So I'm just constantly refreshing that poor page on Facebook, or email me directly. Even if it's on a Saturday or Sunday, please don't hesitate to reach out. I want to make sure you have your material for Sunday. But please do know, if you put Playlister in any email to me, I generally send them right on to Chris, because he is the expert and I want to make sure you actually get the best answer possible. So I will always say, if you have Playlister questions, Playlister is great to reach out to. They're very fast to respond. But now that I've been through this webinar, I think I could do some basics, but I'll probably still send the emails on to Chris.
That's perfect. I just also want to encourage those of you that are participating in watching this either live, or if you're going back to watch the video, you also have resources through your divisional youth department and each other. So, all of these resources in this community of support for one another is how we can really be successful in reaching our families. I just can't reiterate enough how important the relationships are. And when we have tools like the Playlister app, when we have tools like the home folder, where we're giving options for people to connect with their kids at home, that can just only enrich what we're doing more and more. It supports it. And so I'm really excited about these options. I'm so very grateful for those of you that could take time during a very busy season to jump on and watch this live and ask your questions. But we know that there will be people that will watch this afterwards, or you will be processing through. You might be setting up for Toy Shop and think, oh, I should have asked such and such a question. So make sure that you reach out and ask those questions, because we are here to support you in your ministry. So I just wanted to encourage all of you. As you can see, I am a girl that loves a good theme. So as you continue on this December in your core ministries, the theme for 252 is the light show, which that's why we have Christmas lights. And for those of you that really want to see how much I love a good theme, I have my Christmas light headband. And please don't tell my daughter; she'd be mortified that I'm now going to be on the internet wearing this. But encourage that the fact that Christmas is celebrating the greatest gift. And it doesn't have to be big and fancy. It doesn't have to be perfect. It really is kind of getting down to the message that Jesus is the light of the world, and we can see him in all that we do throughout our lives. We can be his light to others as well. And so we just appreciate your time here. Again, if you have any other questions, reach out. But if not, we do have another webinar in January. We'll be talking about new things. So January 12th will be our webinar. And until then, I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. Thank you, everyone.